Personal finance. I first learned about personal finance in April of 2015 when I had my car towed from my apartment complex and I had to find a creative way to pay for the tow. After maxing out my fourth credit card at this point in my life, I had to eat ramen noodles for 2 weeks. I learned I never wanted to be in this position again and something in my life had to change. Personal Finance 101, the basics of personal finance. Living on less than you make, living on a budget, protecting the four walls, shelter, food, clothes. This means basic clothing, not designer brands, basic needs while in survival mode, transportation. Sacrifice now so you can live the life you want later. The power of compound interest. This is the couple that introduced me to Dave Ramsey. Richard and his wife Amy introduced me to a guy named Dave Ramsey in 2011. Richard has been my coworker since 2011, and I never really listened to him about Dave Ramsey's personal finance material till April 1st, 2015. My future wife and I will be going through the FPU class together once a local church starts a new class. The book that changed my financial future. In this book, there are 7 baby steps to take to get out of debt and become outrageously generous. The book is called The Totally Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. Those are my future and current goals in life. The concepts in this book changed my life of one that was completely out of control with money to one that is in control of my financial future. The 7 baby steps system. Baby step 1, save a starter emergency fund of $1,000. Baby step 2, pay off all debts excluding the house. Baby step 3, finish emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of expensive. Baby steps 4, 5, and 6 can be done simultaneously. Invest 15% into retirement, invest into the children's college fund if you have children. Baby step 6, pay off the house early. Baby step 7, gain wealth and give. This is not a get rich quick scheme, but over time developing habits that will help you have the money to invest. What I have learned in the process of getting in control of my personal finances. I have learned that it is easier to spend more money when using a debit card instead of cash. I got rid of all my credit cards in April 2015. When I use cash for a purchase, I feel the pain of the money leaving my wallet. Living on a budget, creating a plan for my money. It is cheaper to pay for purchases up front rather than paying for past purchases with money I didn't have. All aspects of life get better when you are in control of your money. Personal finance is involved in every aspect of your life. Why I want to learn about personal finance. I watched my parents' marriage of 20 years crumble due to money fights. Money fights are one of the leading causes of divorce. I'm looking to get married someday. I am tired of living paycheck to paycheck. One day I want to retire and play disc golf all day without worrying about having to work to pay bills and live off my nest egg. I don't want to have to be a Walmart greeter at the age of 80 because I had no retirement plans and everyone feels sorry for me. I want to win with my money. I don't want to work my whole life and have nothing to show for it. I want to be able to enjoy my future children and grandchildren's sporting events instead of having to be at work. Books, seminars, and podcasts I have read or listened to and learned more about this topic. Book, Total Money Makeover, Dave Ramsey, 2010. The Dave Ramsey Show, radio show, on air 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. weekdays and on podcast. Money and Marriage Seminar by Rachel Cruz and Les Parrott, attended May 16, 2019. Smart Money attended on September 15, 2016. Smart Converse attended on January 12, 2019. Everyday Millionaires by Chris Hogan, book, and many more. Observation and reflection. When I learned about personal finance was more about the person in the mirror and getting that person to behave with personal finance over knowledge about personal finance concepts. That's when it all changed for me. Personal finance is about 80% behavior, 20% knowledge. What happened when I got this guy under control with personal finance? I stopped using credit cards. I had plastic surgery with my wallet. Started living on a budget. Made the decision to not finance anything else after I paid off my car in April 2019. All my money I use for spending, I use cash instead of debit cards, so I can spend less. Getting focused and learning experience. When I got focused, this is when personal finance went well for me. When I was unfocused, I spent more money and had too much month left over. Being on a budget gave me a plan before I ever made any money for the month and knew where it was going. Changing the behavior on the money coming in made me feel as I had more money towards the end of the month. I started doing what rich people do with money instead of what poor people do with money. I want to get out of debt and have retirement for the future. Expectations. I found it easier to change my behavior to be more successful with my finances. I was sick and tired of not being able to do what I wanted to do, so I changed. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity, so I changed. Real estate. On your personal real estate that someone will use for their home, a person should put 20% down to avoid PMI. Payments should not be more than 25% of the take-home pay. Payments higher than this will make a person house poor. If you don't have a house, a person should not get one till they are on Dave Ramsey's Baby Step 6. This is the only kind of debt that Dave Ramsey won't tell a person not to do, but he still prefers the 100% down plan. Dave Ramsey does not finance anything, including a house. If you can buy rental real estate, the money comes at the buy, not from renters. Don't let renter properties keep a person in debt. Things to consider with rental real estate. Rentals sit empty when there is no renter in the rental. Renters sometimes don't always pay, and you, the landlord, will have to be the bad guy and evict them. Renters could damage the property, so you, the landlord, will want to check in on the property every couple of months. Taxes. A person will want to pay the least amount of taxes as possible. When you get a tax refund, the money is not extra money. It's money a person overpaid the government at 0% interest. On the W-2 form, a person wants to fill it out where they get the most amount out of their check and the smallest tax refund. Don't stay in debt because a tax benefit. A good CPA is one that can teach a person instead of telling a person what to do. Retirement planning. This will come to effect in baby step 4 of Dave Ramsey's plan. 15% of a person's income should be invested into retirement. If a person's company has a 401k plan match, put up to the match into the 401k plan. Put the rest of the 15% into a Roth IRA. If you do not meet the 15% in the Roth IRA because you put the max into the Roth IRA, place the remaining portion of the 15% into a traditional IRA. Roth IRAs grow tax-free. Traditional IRAs, a person pays taxes at the time of distribution. My financial plan compared to others. I'm on a proven system that millions of people have gotten control of their money. I don't finance anything. If I can't pay for the purchase with cash, I wait till I have enough money to pay for it. I don't use credit cards, I use cash instead. What I have done well, I have gotten rid of all credit cards in my life, living on a written budget, pay everything in cash, stick to the plan. What has been a mistake? Going to an expensive private university, getting a whole bunch of student loan debt, getting myself into an enormous amount of debt, not being able to get my income up to get out of debt faster. What observations I have made: to keep emergency funds at a separate bank than a person's checking account. Emergencies are different for each individual. Intentionality causes for a person to become intentional. Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps work if you follow them. There is no good reason to have a credit card besides to keep a person in bondage. I have more money since I have started using a budget. My stretch level of paying bills has gone down because I know at the beginning of the month of each change I will make to pay all bills. Paying before purchases is better than paying for a purchase after enjoying them. Personal finance hardships: not making enough money, getting into huge amounts of debt as a baby adult, never having a personal finance class in high school that prepared me for the real world, getting stuck in a dead-end job. Hindsight is 2020. If I knew then what I know now, I would have went to a community college and saved up and paid for college in cash. I would have gone to a college I could have afforded. I would have smacked my parents for not teaching me more about real life personal finance and teaching me to charge everything on a credit card. Personal finance is more learned by behavior than taught. Started to invest when I was in my early 20s due to the power of compound interest. Started to save up for a vehicle when I was younger instead of financing a vehicle through college so I could have more time to study in college or had more time to enjoy college. Abstract concepts and generalization. In the concept of American consumer economics, sales, promotions, buying habits, health and medical care, and housing are mostly based on credit. I don't believe in paying anything on credit, and I am not interested in the I love debt score, credit score. I believe in the power of cash. Salespeople treat you different when a person has a handful of cash. What is a budget? A budget is a written plan of where a person's money is going. A budget is not something that should be restrictive. You can plan for whatever you like each given month, but have a plan. No coach goes into a game without a plan for the game, and so we should go into each month with a plan, not without a plan for the month. Stick to the budget once you decide on what it is for the month. Give yourself grace. No 2-month budgets will look the same, and it will take a couple of months to get it right. Everyone under budgets for groceries the first few months. How does credit work? Credit keeps you in bondage to the creditor. Rich people don't use credit to pay for things they have cash for. If you invest the amount of a car payment from age 20 to 60, person can retire a millionaire. Pay for the car or other items in cash instead. How does credit work for you? Credit keeps a person in bondage to the lender. Credit does not work for a person, but puts fancy furniture at the office building of the place the credit came from. That is nicer than the furniture in the person receiving the credit's house. Airline miles, but a person has never became rich by airline miles. This is not a habit of a millionaire. Principle